This is our routine. Day and night, all we do is survive. It never lets up.
Hi, my name's Leon Hurley. I am Associate Editor for officialplaystationmagazine.co.uk.
Hi, I'm Ben Wilson. I'm the editor of Official PlayStation Magazine UK.
This is The Last of Us, the E3 demo that was shown off in June, and the first, proper sort of gameplay really.
And it looks a bit like Uncharted, so you sort of believe them when they say it's in game. In fact, I've seen a man in a room in Los Angeles playing through this level, so it definitely is real.
Yeah, and obviously, you see this, you can interact with stuff. It shows like a huge leap forward from Uncharted, just in terms of the levels of detail. Weirdly, even just the light, I think the way it sort of reflects off the walls looks more sort of almost like next gen. The way Joel's hands kind of like flex as he sort of looks around. It's taken that whole kind of Uncharted level of design and feels like it's pushed it forward. I'm seeing here when they find the hotel. It's interesting seeing sort of the interactions between Ellie and Joel, because they clearly, they're sort of telling the story, but it's not kind of forced. You had choice just then to interact with the poster, but you didn't. They didn't take it here. You're gonna spend a lot of time with these people. You don't sort of control Ellie as such, so they've got to, you've got to sort of bond with them. And watching them wander around here and chat and stuff, it feels, like they're going to be interesting people to get to know.
Whoa. This is fancy. You ever stay at a place like this? Before it all went to shit, I mean.
No, this is too rich for my blood.
Oh, bet it was nice.
What do you think of her new make?
I was just thinking, I'm not sold on it. They've not changed the.
She doesn't look like Ellen Page anymore, given that Ellen Page is in Beyond.
But she's just that bit too young now for the actress playing her. She's still playing the sort of the 15, 16-year-old. Now this younger version looks more like sort of 11, 12, and it's a little. Maybe it just takes a bit getting used to. Maybe we're used to seeing her as an older person. I love what they've done with the sort of this post-apocalyptic thing. It isn't like brown and grey and horrible and dreary. It's sort of quite beautiful in an end of the world kind of way.
Yeah, it looks like a souped-up version of Uncharted in the Apocalypse, which for me does more than well enough. I love his rucksack physics as well. If you watch the way the rucksack moves, and obviously it comes into gameplay very shortly in terms of him, the stuff he can carry with him.
I know we saw some survivors there. There's a sort of a dubious kind of morality to this where, the bad guys are bad, but essentially everyone's just trying to survive. There's like a free-for-all thing going on, where everyone is out for themselves, so you're being as bad as them to some extent.
It's interesting, isn't it, the morals of it, because clearly, like you said, they're all mainly human enemies, especially in this level, and like they're obviously really nasty, but he's quite a brutal man, as we're finding out at the moment. So he's clearly not all sweetness and light.
Yeah, it's been mentioned in a previous trailer that he previously was one of these kind of scavenging, sort of ambushing robbers.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he's found seen the error of his ways and is sort of now a good guy.
What the fuck?
We don't actually know why he's helping Ellie. We know it's sort of a request to a dying friend. He clearly must, he must have some kind of honour to be risking his life to get across America, especially when it's a lawless kind of country now. I think it's interesting as well how how ruthlessly sort of unpleasant the violence is. There's no sort of video game compromise to this.
No, not at all.
People bleed. Later on, we see a guy sort of crying for his life. There's heads slammed into shells.
This bit seems a tiny bit scripted in terms of whether I think you have to kidnap the man and hold him hostage.
I think what's happened here is they showed this bit off on at A3 and at Jimmy Fallon, and this plays out exactly the same both ways, right down to when he misses and hits the sofa.
Right.
I think it's just to make it look as good as possible. I'm hoping it won't be that scripted in the to finish games. Otherwise, you know, you don't want to fight to have little mini cutscenes in. Essentially.
You know, there's elements of Uncharted that are like that, and they still work. So
Yeah.
in Naughty Dog we trust, I guess.
Yeah.
Shit. I know that sound. I got you now, motherfucker.
Hey, asshole!
We just saw Ellie there throwing a brick. You can't give her any orders. You can't give her any instructions. She gets on with what she wants to do. And it seems like an extension of previous sort of Uncharted stuff with Sully and Elena, yeah, where you know, she seems quite capable, and hopefully this time even more so. Again, like sort of advancing it.
Come on.
Where, you know, you're getting that sort of feel like it's next gen already in terms of the visuals, in terms of the AI, in terms of the sort of the sort of the scripted storytelling moments where they chat and interact. You mentioned Rucksack earlier. This is you know, the creation system. We can see things like there's explosives, there's batteries, wires.
I'm a massive baby. I can already feel myself wanting to play on easy so I can get as much ammo as possible. I know that it doesn't really enter into the spirit of things.
But I don't know if that will help. I mean, easy might make you live a bit longer because there's no regenerating health. You know, you have to use health packs to survive. But
Like you say, look at there's no holding back on the violence.
yeah, and part of the sort of the substance of the world is that, you know, there's a win is getting like 2-3 bullets out of someone's pocket. So, you know, easy might get a bit more ammo, but you'll still be scrabbling.
I like the fact that they've got the detail of having a widescreen telly in their pocket.
I think it's going to be lovely, sort of exploring and finding all this stuff, and because one of the things is that Joel remembers how the world used to be, Ellie doesn't. She's got no idea what any of this stuff is, so she's like, you know, she's got a museum-like attitude to stuff she sees. She's got no idea what's going on. You're going to see in a second. Yeah, there we go. She will. You know, you need her to some extent. You know, she will help you in certain situations.